Okay, this is so freaking weird. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, I don't even know where to start, but welcome the fuck back to Gossip Committee. I'm sorry I am not presentable. The way I look is, I look like a grandma right now, but you guys, I I barely have time to pick my nose, let alone look presentable for a podcast episode. And if you want to get these back to a weekly situation, then we're just going to have to deal with Grandma Vic, okay? If you're watching, you can see that things might look a little bit different. Oh my God, I have so much to fucking tell you guys. And let's finally jump on the consistent train. I know you're like, okay, Victoria, I'm not going to believe it until I see it. And I get that. And I'm there with you. And honestly, same. But it has been a wild fucking month. Like, I literally don't know where to start, but clearly I'm in a new location. So let's start with where I was, not the last time on the podcast, because I already knew what was coming the last time on the podcast. And I told you guys, hey, I'm really happy. I'm in a really great mood. Things are working out for me. So let's jump back like a few months and how I talked about a life being a fucking struggle. Like that I was like literally going through the dirt and life was hard and not making sense. And it was just one thing after a fucking another. And the devil was just like attacking and attacking and attacking. And I was continuing to pray and like, I was just like, why is this happening to me? And I was watching all of my friends like level the fuck up, and not just friends, but like people around me. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I have to watch everybody around me level up. Who knows when the fuck I'm going to be leveling up. I just jumped back into my real estate career, which by the way, I still haven't sold anything. But it's all in the right timing, okay? So how do I even start this? So I have some clients and I will like look at the new listings every single day, the new stuff that like pops on the market, okay? You know, if I see something that looks interesting to me or it fits like a client's criteria, I'll go and I'll see it, or I'll go and I'll preview, or I'll go and like shoot some Instagram like stories for social media content. And so this one house, this one house popped up and I was like, okay, I like that location. This looks really cute. The pictures are really freaking cute. I think I like this. This is like cool. And like, I don't even know why I was like excited about it, because it's not like I could buy it. Like I have a lot of work to do on my finances and just like getting approved by a lender. Like I have work to do because I've already screwed it up in the past and I was paying for that. And I was like, in the last few episodes, I was like, I'm just trying to trust God with the process of like where my life is, and that I'm going to have to work really freaking hard to be where I want to be. But like where I want to be is probably not anywhere in the near fucking future. So, yeah, this house pops up and I go look at it and I walk in, and I've looked at several houses before. I walk in and instantly feel this like spark, this chemistry. It's like, dude, when you're looking at houses, it's just like dating and like friendship connections. Like you feel a spark, you feel chemistry. It's the same thing. And I walked into this house and I'm like, oh, like every turn I was like, yes, yes. Mind you, like I know that I can't like buy a house, but I was like so excited about it that I was like, I need to call my mom. Like I need to call my mom. And I FaceTimed her. She was in her pajamas. And she was like, I was like, Mom, I think I'm in love with this house. And she was like, okay, where is it? Sent her the address. She's like, okay, I'll come see it. And she put on her clothes and she got to the house in like 20 minutes. And I'm like watching her look through it. And we had never had a conversation like, oh, if you ever find a house that you like, I'll buy it for you. Like there was, that conversation was never a thing. So I don't know like what I'm thinking, but I'm just feeling the sparks. I'm just like, I don't know. Like my stomach is like, has butterflies, and I see my mom looking through it and I see that she loves it. And she's like, yeah, it's a good house, but she's trying to play it cool, but I know her. So like, I know that she loves it, but she's like trying to play it cool. She's like walking through and she's like, yeah, it's a good house. It's a good house. So then we leave. Like we don't talk much. We don't talk much about like the house. So we leave. She's like, are you going back to the office? And I'm like, I have to go shoot some video for a client that lives out of state. So I need to send them some videos of some properties. And she's like, okay, I'll see you at the office later. And so I'm like, okay, so does she love it enough? Because like she had been looking at like investment properties and she would tell me like, go look at some things. And she'd be like, do you think that would be a good investment? Like, because she like buys properties and rents them out and like Airbnbs them. So I didn't know if like maybe she'll buy it and like let me rent it out. Like I literally had no idea. Like this was not a conversation like, hey Victoria, if you want to start looking at houses, I would buy one for you and you could rent it out from me. That was never a conversation. So I go and I shoot some video for a client, and then I get back to the office and I'm just sitting there and I'm wondering like, okay, like what's going on? Like this is a house that like, it's one of those where like, you know, it's going to have multiple showings and get multiple offers. So like 30 minutes goes by in the office of me literally like twiddling my fucking thumbs because I have anxiety because I'm freaking the fuck out. And she's like, have you looked at the comps? And if you don't know what that means, it just means like, have you looked at like what has sold in the neighborhood and if the price that the house is listed at is a good price, if it makes sense. And I was like, no, I haven't. And she was like, okay, well, make sure you do that. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. And so I looked and I was like, oh, well, I see this house and this one's listed for like $85,000 more. And like, I don't even really like it. But, and this one sold for this much and blah, 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 blah. So she's looking at the comps. And then all of a sudden I get a text message and it says, hey, I see that you showed this house this morning. I'm the assistant of the listing agent and we have already received an offer. Did your people want to do anything? She's talking to me like I'm the agent that showed like my clients the house, because obviously like I made an appointment to go see the house and I'm a real estate agent. So she's talking to me as if like I showed clients the house. So I was like, my heart dropped, first of all. Second of all, I looked at my mom and I was like, they got an offer. And she was like, they got an offer? Like, she looked concerned. And I was like, why is she concerned? Like, is she thinking about making an offer? Is she gonna make an offer? And so she like goes into like busy mode and she calls the assistant of the list. Oh, she's like, who has it listed? So I tell her who has it listed. She's like, oh yeah, I know her. And I'm like, oh, okay. So she calls and she's like, hey, I saw the listing at 123 Banana Street. And I heard you have an offer on it. She's like, yeah, I do. And she was like, okay. Does that offer blah, blah, blah? Like, she was like trying to get the fucking scoop. But as an agent, like, you're not really supposed to disclose what kind of like offers you've gotten. But my mom, of course, was like poking and like trying to get information. And she was like, okay, well, I think I'm going to be sending over an offer here shortly. And I know that you'll tell the seller that this is, a good agent. It'll be a quick closing. She's reliable and she doesn't play games. And the agent's like, oh yeah, absolutely. Don't worry about that. And I'm sitting there like heart beating out of my chest thinking like, my mom is really about to make an offer on this house for me. I think like, unless she wants to buy it as an investment property. And so I'm just sitting there like, is this fucking happening right now? Like, could I possibly have a chance at having this house of like my fucking dreams? Like, that ticks all of these boxes that I literally thought I would never be able to meet. Not that I didn't think I would ever be able to meet, but first of all, let me finish the story. So she says, hey, Victoria, can I talk to you in the conference room? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So she takes me out of the office because like we're on a team and there's like other agents in the office. So she takes me to the conference room. She's like, okay, before I, make this offer, I just want to talk about, what your expectations are and what you think is the situation, basically. And I kind of tell her like, well, I don't really have any expectations because we've never really had a conversation about this. But like what I'm thinking in this moment is that you would be buying this house and I would be renting it from you. And she's like, okay. And what does that look like? And we're talking about the details of all of this. And she's like, and we're just talking about like the logistics. And she's like, that I want to do this. Like, this is a great house. Like, this is in a great school district. This is, in a good location. Like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, And she's like, okay, like I'm prepared to go to this number. And I'm like, okay. And yeah. So I give her a really big hug because I'm like, is this really fucking happening? And we go back to the office and she starts writing up an amazing offer for me to get this property. And keep in mind, there's another offer already on the table. So I'm like having anxiety like a motherfucker. And she takes her, time, writing the offer. And then she sends it in. And in less than 1 hour, like by that time, I was already driving to school to pick up Callie and Milo. And on the way to school, I like look at my email and I see that they have sent over the accepted contract. And I am officially under contract to buy this home. And I'm like, what the fuck? How is this real life? Like, how is this real life? So I call my mom and I'm like, Mom, did you see the email? She's like, what email? And I'm like, they accepted the offer. She's like, get the fuck out. And I'm like, okay, That is the first sign that this was meant for me. And nobody can tell me any different, because too many things, too many boxes have been ticked with what the fuck my life has turned into in the past month and a half. So we go under contract and we obviously have to do an inspection, but like literally the person that lived in this house has maintained it. They have loved it. Like there's nothing wrong with it. Like it's in pristine condition. It's clean. It's kept up. It's maintained. The roof is 5.5 months old. The air conditioning is like 7 years old, and those things last for like so many years. Dude, I'm telling you, like I could keep going and going and going, but basically we went under contract, we did the inspection, we got through the inspection, and we closed on this fucking house that I'm living in right now. And I moved in not this past weekend, but the weekend before. We completely unpacked as of this past weekend. And I am like pinching myself every day, and I'm on cloud 9, and I cannot believe what God did for me that I didn't think was possible, that I had no idea, that was out of freaking nowhere. Like this was not a conversation. Like I had not spent months looking at homes for myself. Like you guys know, I talk on the podcast about like my life and my struggles and what I'm going through. And I did not think this was a thing. Like I'm speechless at what has transpired. I'm speechless at what has transpired in my life. But guys, okay. So first of all, it's in the location that I wanted to be in. Like the location that I wanted to be in, that's super central and in the middle of, everything and everyone that I want to be around. Okay. That's first of all. Second of all, I know I've talked about homeschooling and like my issues with, school and like, what am I going to do? And I'm stressed. Well, I'm in a great school district. So that has taken some worry off of my back. I wanted like a big yard for my kids to play in, and I ended up with half an acre in the location that I was looking for. Is like, honestly, to me, it not unheard of, but like just rare. I'm telling you guys, like this property is a gem. And it was like one of those properties. And that's another thing, is like this man, they were the owner, like they were already under contract on another house. So he was like, I don't want to spend the whole weekend having a bunch of showings, doing the multiple offer situation. And like, I'm sorry, why didn't he want to do that? He could have gotten a lot more money than he got. And he was like, no, like I'm ready to just like tie this thing up. I'm ready to just like secure this contract and go to the next steps. Like when does a person do that instead of like trying to see as how much money they can get for this property that they've loved for several years? Like it just, I'm like, because like somebody could have come in like an investor and like given all cash and like, or higher offers, and like it's only God that made it possible. This guy was like, okay, this sounds good, let's just roll with it. Because there's nothing wrong with the house. It's not like he was like, yeah, let's go ahead and just get this under contract because like, there's something wrong with the house. Like there's nothing wrong with the house. So we So that was like the first thing. And then the school district, the land. And then I know that I've said to you guys before, like that I like, oh, do I want to like live in the city? Do I want to like live on, not on a farm, but like land and have chickens and cows and all of that shit? And like, no, I don't. I'm not a cow person or a chicken person, or really honestly like an animal person, to be honest. But I was like, I still want that for my kids to like, or I want some aspect of like nature so that my kids can like help me in the yard. And like, honestly, I think it's like me wanting them to be like little country boys that like just play outside all the time and don't care about fucking phones and technology and fucking TikTok. So, even though I'm kind of like that. And so this place came with a fucking greenhouse where I can become a plant person and grow my own fruits and vegetables and have my kids do plant stuff with me and water flowers and just be cute and watch plants grow and get excited and then eat the freaking stuff that we grow and get our little baskets and harvest fruits and vegetables. And I'm just like, okay, wait, like this is my in between farm life and city life. Like I'm in a location that's close to the city, but like I get to, and I don't have to deal with like animals, but I get to plant, and that's cool and something that I think could be a lot of fun and a hobby for me. So yeah, guys, I'm totally like, I've been looking at plant TikToks and greenhouse TikToks and greenhouse at dusk TikToks, like putting little like stringy lights and putting a little like seating area in my greenhouse. And I don't know, just like playing nice, calm, relaxing music. And just, I don't know, I'm so excited. And the kitchen's big and beautiful. And the space is it's such a like entertainer's house. Like, okay, so I'll get to us having our first barbecue. But then, so we got into the house, and one of those first days of moving in, we went for a walk, and we ran into some neighbors that have lived here for 40 years. And so we started like talking and said like, oh, we're new to the neighborhood. And she was like, oh, there's a lot of like young parents in this neighborhood. We're so happy that all of the old people are like, we're getting rid of all the old people and it's a bunch of like young people or something like that. And she was like, oh, you should come to the trick-or-treating or whatever. I don't know, neighborhood trick-or-treating. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, I should do that because then I can see like what the neighbors are like what's the vibe? Like, are they people like me? Are they like freaking snobby, like rich people? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. So, I end up going with my mom. Lucas was working. He wasn't home yet. So I go with my mom and of course my kids. And everybody was so freaking friendly and chill and not like snobby. And they were drinking White Claws and wine, had their wine tumblers. And we went trick-or-treating and people were doing like grown-up trick-or-treating where they were giving like fireball shots and jello shots. And this one couple was doing like chili cheese dogs and orange slushies with like alcohol toppers. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. Not that I'm an alcoholic, because I'm not. I really don't drink that much. But like the vibe of like drink, I don't know. I just thought it was so cool that like everybody was just like so chill and laid back and normal. And so they invited me to like a book club, which at first I'm like, a book club? Like, do I want to be a part of a book club. Like, is that kind of lame? Like, is it, like, I don't know if I do books. But then somebody was like, and honestly, you don't even have to read the book. We just drink wine and talk about our husbands. And I was like, okay, I think I can do that. Like, I think I can just drink wine and maybe read the book and talk shit. Like, okay. So I'm like, that's a vibe. And then guys, we had our first barbecue, not really like with a lot of our friends, but like Lucas's dad is so excited about the house. So he's like, let's have a barbecue. So they bring the karaoke and the meat and we invite some people, and everybody that comes is just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is so beautiful. This is such an like dream house. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I fucking know. Like, how is this my real life? Like, if you would have told me 2 months ago that I would be sitting here doing this, talking about this, living this life, I would be like, yeah, right. Like, it's not possible. Like, that's definitely not happening. And it's here and it's happening and it's real. And I'm not sleeping. I'm not dreaming. And like, you guys, Lucas and I tithed. If you don't know what tithe means, it means gave money to church, the God, through our struggles and being broke. And we fully trusted and prayed and put our faith that God had a plan, and we didn't know when that plan was coming. And we definitely didn't think that plan was coming anytime soon, but he literally answered all of our freaking prayers times 10. And I am just in shock that this is my life and I'm living in this house. And so this studio is like a work in progress, and I want to be consistent with it, and I want to like blow this up, or just honestly care about it and put my all into it. And there's so much that I like want to do, guys. Just as far as like maintaining my new house and my yard and my plants, and really just living out this dream with my kids and playing with them as much as I can. It's about to be winter, so like I don't know how much enjoying of like the backyard and stuff I'm going to be doing, but I am just in complete and total shock that this happened for me. I mean, honestly, like I knew everything was in God's timing and like there was a plan, but like just right now, I'm in shock. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. That's what I was excited about on the last episode. And the last episode was filmed like before the inspection, so I didn't want to share because honestly, we almost didn't come to an agreement at the inspection. Like my mom wanted a certain amount of money and they were just not willing to do that because they had a backup offer. And yeah, it could have all like gone into flames, and I didn't want to jinx it. So I didn't tell you guys about it sooner. And then we did the inspection. It was fine. We got through it, and Lucas started packing immediately and packed up all of my gossip committee stuff. So I literally couldn't make an episode until I got here and got unpacked and got the room and something set up for you guys. So yes, this set is a work in progress. You guys can see that wall now. I need to fix that. Hold on a second. Okay, so this is a work in progress. I don't know. I think I'm going to like ditch this lamp, find something a little bit more eclectic or whatever. I don't know about this plant that still has the tag on it. This is like some staging plant that I don't even know. But putting up this wallpaper was a pain in the ass. Like Lucas was in such a bad fucking mood and was such a douche lord the night that we put up this wallpaper. But do you guys like it? Do you not like it? I think it's cool. Black was fun because it felt like, oh, like there's a spotlight on me and stuff. But like, I don't know. We're vibing with it and we'll see how it goes. But I want to change this up. I'm not going to keep this table because it's way too big and bulky for the room. And I want as much space as I can have in this room. And yeah, it's just a work in progress. But guys, I am so happy and cannot believe like that life has done a 180. I have to sneeze. Hold on. It went away. It went away because I like thought too hard about it. So anyways, besides this being like the best news of my life to share with you, Callie was a ring boy at a wedding. He killed it. He conquered his fears. Like, I did not know how it was going to go, honestly, but he did it and he killed it and he was great. And that was a fun weekend of getting to see family and stuff. And then I've also been trying to help plan my sister's bachelorette party, which I'm realizing I'm like just not very good at doing that. But I'm trying my fucking best and hopefully I can make her proud. But luckily she's given me a co-organizer that's on the bridesmaid list, and she like does Excel spreadsheets and stuff. You guys know that is not me. You guys know I am not a planner person. I'm a very forgetful, like not detail oriented person that kind of just goes with the flow. Obviously, I know that I can't do that with a bachelorette trip, but I'm doing my fucking best. But I'm glad I have the co-organizer, and this wedding is going to be insane. Like my sister, so she's the videographer is like the way they do the wedding video is like a reality TV situation, and they like mic up all the bridesmaids or something, and like it's really like an episode of like reality TV, and I'm just like, what is happening? This is fucking cool. I'm gonna feel like a celebrity for a weekend. And then apparently her fiance's parents booked a yacht for the rehearsal dinner. Like, I'm sorry, are we like living in the Twilight Zone? Like, how do people do this? And not to mention, like, my sister's engagement ring is like literally Kim Kardashian's engagement ring. Like, I don't even freaking know. That shit is huge. It's a rock. So yeah, I have a little bit of anxiety surrounding all of that because like I'm just like that. It all seems very like put together, and I'm not very put together, but I want to be a good big sister, and I'm going to have to come up with a speech. And like, of course I will, because I can figure shit like that out, but it's just still nerve wracking and I don't want to disappoint anybody. So yeah, going through that, but, we'll figure it out. And then Callie and Milo, they're sharing a room, and Milo switched to a big boy bed, but it's like a floor bed that has like it's enclosed, you know, like it has like, what is the word? Like the gates. I don't freaking know, but I'm obsessed. So, yeah, like what is going on besides that? I haven't sold a house. That's annoying, but like I really need to hustle and like bust my ass, and I don't know. It's hard. It's a different market. It's a different market from when I was doing real estate before. Because when I was doing real estate like 5, 6, 7 years ago, I was working with a lot of first-time home buyers, and I was working with a lot of people that were buying in the like $200,000 to $400,000 range. And I feel like now the people that were buying in that range, because the interest rates are so high and prices are so high, like they can't buy, because who the fuck can actually spend $3,500 on a mortgage? Like, that's freaking expensive. Like, the budget used to be like $1,500 a month, and that was even like kind of on the high side. Like when I was looking for a house, when I bought my first house, my budget was like 200 to 300,000, and I would look at houses and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to have to pay $1,500 a month. That's a little bit high, but like, yeah, well, like that's what we're looking at. And now these people that are buying houses for the first time have to spend like $3,500 a month. Like, that is impossible for some people, a lot of people. So yeah, I'm just kind of figuring that out. And if like what the fuck I'm like, I don't know. So yeah, real estate is interesting, but I'll keep it going and doing what I can to contribute to my family. And I want to make money because I want to do, I like, Callie and Milo have a big ass playroom now, and I want to make it cute. I want to buy a playground set. I want to buy a trampoline. Oh, let's talk about this. Luna, my dog, she has had a torn ACL since March of 2022. And that's a long fucking time. But when it happened and we found out how much it was going to be to get surgery on that, we were like, that's a lot of fucking money. Like, let's start a GoFundMe. We started a GoFundMe and we made like literally $200. And then Lucas had a car accident where he almost died. I'm sure you guys are aware. And I completely like neglected that whole situation, didn't forget about it, but like moved it to the side because I was like dealing with fucking crazy shit. Then Lucas comes home, recovers, gets better, and we go on a beach trip. When we get back from the beach trip, she has done something to the other leg. So she has the torn ACL in the right leg. And then her left leg was fucked up. And she's limping. And I get her medication so that it's bearable, but like she's like kind of fine. And then all of a sudden, like one day, she's just like can't even put weight on it. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? So we take her to the dog hospital and they give us a bunch of like medication for her. They give us some other suggestions of like places that won't charge us like $7,000 because that's a lot of money. And obviously, like, she's a part of my family. She's my pet. I want to take care of her. But like when you have children and priorities, and we're also paying for a freaking lawyer for Lucas's court case from the DUI situation from when he almost died. It's just not doable to like make $7,000 and then spend $7,000. And then the recovery process for that is going to be like so brutal. So I'm like, okay, like $3,000 would be more doable. So I have reached out to organizations and asked for grants or something like that. I don't know. I've emailed so many different foundations and organizations and dog hospitals trying to find like an affordable one or one that will do a payment plan. I've applied for care credit. We get approved for like $2,700 and that helps, which is good. But yeah, so we went to the doctor this last time and they gave us a place and they're supposed to do it for less expensive. So I need to figure that out and I need to take care of my dog. The sad thing was that the doctor actually was like, Rottweilers, I thought they lived from like 10 to 12. And I told her that. I was like, don't they live from like 10 to 12 years of age? And she's like, I don't see a lot of Rottweilers making it past like 7 or 8. And Luna's 6. So like, obviously we want to, get her the surgery and stuff. But like, also it's hard because that's like a lot of money. And then she's only she could live longer. Like, it doesn't have to mean just because the doctor said like she doesn't see a lot of Rottweilers going past 7 or 8 doesn't mean that's Luna's case. And hopefully she lives as long as she can. But it's crazy to think that we would like spend so much money, thousands of dollars, and then she could like pass soon after that. But Lucas and I have discussed it and like, yes, we agree that like it doesn't matter. We love her and we want her to live for as long as she can. And hopefully we can get that surgery. And I've heard it's so like tough. And it's hard when you're like working and managing 2 kids and a husband and now a freaking home that like I need to take care of. And then you have a dog that needs like your full attention and care. It's like a lot. But that's life. And you know what I'm going to continue to do? I'm going to continue to pray about it and it's going to get figured out. And I I shouldn't have much anxiety because I think somebody is taking really good care of me. But yeah, I just wanted to share all of that tea with you guys. I have been so excited to tell you about this amazing news, and now I'm excited to actually have a cool space that has air conditioning. That I can make like really cute and fun and inviting. I want to make like accent walls. There's 4 walls in this room. I want to make every wall an accent wall. I want to make like a little like sitting area. I want like a bar cart somewhere. I want like a big ass mirror that has like pink glowy lights and says like selfie mirror on it or something. So like the people that come, the guests that come, we can like take little cute selfies. And yeah, I just want to make this room like a total fucking vibe so I can, oh, and also my computer is in here. So it's going to be a lot easier to transfer everything to my computer and get episodes uploaded because I really want to, and it means a lot to me. And I hope you guys are still enjoying being on this journey with me. And I am also trying to vlog again. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, let's just see what the fuck happens in this crazy, unpredictable life of mine because shit, this was not expected, but I am not complaining and I am so happy, and I'm happy to make an episode for you guys. So I love you. I mean it. And I will see you bitches next time. Peace.